Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to make a sort of different kind of video. I know my videos have been all happy-go-lucky, some of the best books I ever read, recent book pickups, books that got me into reading, so on and so forth. We're going to turn the wheel here. We're talking about some of the books that I did not favor too heavily last year. Got a stack of 5 right here, and I guess just a quick disclaimer that I don't really care if these are your favorite books or whatnot. I just personally didn't like them a whole lot, and if you like them, definitely let me know. That's awesome for you. I just couldn't, some of them I couldn't get through, some of them I just didn't like in general, some I had high hopes for. But yeah, that's what this whole thing is about. Let me know if some of these were your favorite. We can definitely have a discussion about that and why you thought so. But without further ado, kick things off with a hot take here. This is Circe by Madeline Miller, author of The Song of Achilles, where if you watched one of my previous videos, the books that got me into reading, The Song of Achilles was on there as one of my, I guess, favorite books that got me into reading, so I had high hopes going into Circe, and it didn't hit the same. Now, this could have been for a myriad of different reasonings. Maybe I was more developed in my reading tastes, and I put this book on too much of a pedestal, and I had way too high of expectations. Perhaps going into it, maybe I didn't know what I probably didn't know what I liked when I was reading this, what kind of books I preferred, so I just picked this up because I liked The Song of Achilles so much. Maybe I just read it at the wrong time and I need to revisit it. It's a favorite of a lot of people, so it sort of disappoints me that I didn't like it as much as they did, but nonetheless, an honest video here. I did not jive too well or much with Circe by Madeline Miller. Next on the list, I think this book came out last year. If not, it was all over all the bookstores because of this cover, Ripe by Sarah Rosetter. I too also picked up this book because of the cover. Essentially tells the story of a woman in her either late 20s, maybe early 30s, living in LA, sort of working a cutthroat job, and she's burnt out, and there's this metaphor for depression that sort of follows her around. I didn't jive well or like this book too much because I read it definitely at the wrong time. I was just starting my first job out of college, was facing some struggles. I honestly don't know why I read this book. This sort of sent me down a rabbit hole. So this was definitely on the list because I read it at the wrong time. I think it's a good book. It's just not one that I particularly liked at the time. I can totally see me reading this and sort of meshing with it maybe in a couple years time once I'm more developed in my career. But starting my career and then reading such a book like this didn't bode well for me. It sort of sent me into a reading slump and a hobby slump in general for about a month. But hey, the cover is pretty gorgeous, so that's Ripe by Sarah Rosetter. Next book here actually won the International Booker Prize last year, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it's the Man Booker Prize. I know there's 2 of them that go out on a yearly basis. This is Kairos by Jenny Erpenbeck. Yeah, this was not read at the wrong time. I thought this book was horrible. There's some pretty weird themes in it. It tells a story of a love affair between a young 20-year-old woman and a 50-something-year-old man. I should have just returned the book when that started developing, but I couldn't. I'm like, surely it won the Booker. I bought it the day it won the Booker Prize. I was perusing a bookstore. I got a Twitter notification. Hey, Man Booker Prize award winner announced. Not 10 minutes later, I bought the book. So I read the whole thing thinking it would redeem itself. It did not. Maybe this is someone's cup of tea. This was not my cup of tea. I'll definitely say that. The cover is good, a little eclectic, but hey, I like that. It sort of looks like Neapolitan ice cream, perhaps. I guess that's its redeeming quality. But yeah, Kairos by Jenny Erpenbeck. All right, next on the list was I think it was the Pulitzer Prize winner for this year. We got a sort of a theme here with award-winning books, perhaps. And it sounded like it was up my alley for sure to begin with. I would definitely, if it was written a different way, I would have loved this story. This is Night Watch by Jane Ann Phillips. Tells the story of a man and his daughter in like Civil War era? Yeah. Civil War era America, and they are going to visit their mother who's in a like insane asylum during this time. Interesting idea for sure, if only for the fact that it wasn't written in like 1874 dialect. Now the usual, I mean, I got 2 full shelves of classics that I like. I don't know why I didn't like this one. It was just some sort of a slog to get through. Some words were like replaced with onomatopoeias, and words were spelled wrong on purpose for who knows what reason. This one is sort of a shocker because I thought I would love the story. The story itself is pretty interesting, but the way it was written and some of the dialogue is just not for me. We'll say that. But yeah, I mean, it's a Pulitzer Prize winner. Maybe it was trying to do too much for me, too artistic, too many modern themes in a sort of more old time setting. One of those various things, I guess. Night Watch by Jane Ann Phillips. All right, last but not least, normally I say like whatever, but like the books aren't bad, they just weren't for me. This last one, my most recent read, I think this book is just bad. It's a holiday read. I picked it up at Target on a whim because I wanted to get some holiday spirit in me. Sorry, they're doing the trash right now, if you can hear that. Sounds like gunshots outside. But alas, this last book here is One Big Happy Family by Susan Mallory. Now this book was just like TikTok word vomit all over my face, which is great. I wanted something sort of light to read for the holidays. But this was like not that. There was some weird like family drama, and every single character had a multitude of health and mental issues, and basically just for the sake of having those issues. And I know that's like, oh, whatever, everyone's got their own issues, but like every time a certain character was brought up, they were always mentioning like how obese she was. Like after she would speak, the author would be like, she said breath, like out of breath due to her weight or something like that. I was like, that it was sort of overdone. Did not finish this. And then I picked up A Christmas Carol, so I guess that gave me like literature whiplash reading this and then A Christmas Carol. Yeah, don't know what to say about this. This is not great. Anywho, those were the 5. Hold on, we'll get them out here. Ugh. Turn them around. The 5 books that I didn't particularly like that I read this year: Circe, Ripe, Kairos, Night Watch, and One Big Happy Family. Let me know down below if you've read any of these. Once again, this is not a jab at anyone if they like these books. They just weren't for me, particularly like Circe. I know that's everyone's favorite. Not everyone's, but a lot of people's favorite book. So yeah, let me know if you've read any of these. Maybe let me know what one of your swing and a misses for a book was in 2024. And here's to a year of Goodreads only in 2025. But with that, appreciate everyone watching, sticking around. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks all.